Hello and good morning. Let's take a look at the bell work. First of all, we're in week 8-9, and today is Wednesday, and I want you to go online and upload your bell work. You should have 8 to 9 pages only, okay? And it's open now in Canvas, but it closes tomorrow night, so it ends Thursday night. If you do not upload your bell work, you will not get credit, and that is the deadline. There will be no late work. No late work on this. Sorry. All right, let's take a look here. Also, those of you who have to finish the EOC from yesterday, I'll get you started in a little while. Let me get the class started first, okay? All right, so look up here. To find the distance, you're going to take big minus small. That's the formula I gave you. Well, you know this one is the biggest one because it's a smaller negative. So the big one minus the small one, which happens to be a negative. A double negative becomes a plus, and you end up with 67 feet or inches. That's it. Big minus small. That's what you were taught. Look here. This box means what? Is that supplementary or complementary? Well, that right there is definitely complementary. So you're going to add up these two and set it equal to 90 degrees. So we're going to go ahead and work this by saying x plus 6 plus 2x is equal to 90 degrees. This gives me 3x plus 6. I'm going to subtract 6 and then divide by 3. Let's try that. So 90 minus 6, press equals, divided by 3. I get 28 is what x equals. So I multiply by 2 and I get 56. So this angle is 56. The whole thing is 90, so 90 minus 56 is going to give me, I think it's 34, or 24 rather. So this one is 24 degrees, and let's make sure that adds up to 90. I'm not sure it does, so that's 40. So 34 would have been correct on that. Okay, there it is. Today we're doing Pythagoreans Theorem, so on a new sheet of paper, copy down this triangle, and I want you to write down this formula. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. C is the hypotenuse, and the hypotenuse is always the biggest one, or the longest. Okay, make sure you know that. All right, so let's take a look here. There are really two types. One of them, they give you the two legs, and they want you to find the hypotenuse. Okay, so draw that up. Now some kids are like, which one is the hypotenuse? Well, you color the box. You see how this forms an L? The one that forms an L is your legs, and it doesn't matter which one is A or B. So that means this one across from the 90 is the hypotenuse. So it's going to be 4 squared plus 3 squared is equal to x squared. So you're going to get 16 plus 9 is equal to x squared. 25 is equal to x squared. And then you got to get rid of that square. And you do that by doing the square root. So x is equal to 5. This is a classic 3, 4, 5 right triangle. Make sure you memorize that one. All right, draw this other triangle here. And make this one 5, make this one 4, and put an x here. We already know it's 3 because it's a 3, 4, 5 right triangle. But we're going to use the formula. So put a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Now, make your L. There's my L right there. So those are my legs by the box. Color the box. So it's going to be 4 squared plus x squared is equal to, across from the 90 is the hypotenuse. So I get 16 plus x squared is equal to 25. I subtract 16 from both sides, and when I do, I get x squared equals 9, I guess that is. And then I take the square root, and I get x equals 3. Again, This is a classic 3, 4, 5 right triangle. So on this one you had to subtract, on the other one you had to add. That's the difference. See? If they give you the legs, you're going to add. If you're missing a leg, you're going to subtract. Those are the only two types. Okay? Now there is one other one that they give you like this. So draw this triangle. And they want to know, is this a right triangle? Is it a right triangle? So let's scratch off that box in. Well, you make your L, so color the L. Those are your legs. L stands for legs. So it's 4 squared plus 3 squared. Does that equal 5 squared? If it does, then it's a right triangle. So this is 16 plus 9. Does that equal 25? The answer is yes. And since they're both 25, you put yes, right triangle. What would it be if I got 25 is equal to 20, where it's false? If you get something where it's false, then it's not a right triangle. That's it. I taught you everything you needed to know, but the key here is that L. Always make the L first, because those represent the legs. So the L represents the legs, A and B. And it doesn't matter which one is A or B. So today, you're going to be doing the worksheet. We're going to be doing the front side of this worksheet only the front side. Okay? And there it is. All right? If you get stuck, ask. All right, let's turn our attention now to MCR. So if you're a parent at home and you're trying to figure out what the heck is Mr. Toops doing, well, this is a new class, okay? This is called MCR. Okay? So let's try this. All right, well, this right here is order of operations. So you got to do the innermost parentheses first, and when you do, you get a -2. But a -2 squared is going to be a +4. Okay? Since this is outside the bracket, you got to wait before you square it. So I'm going to multiply these two together. So I'm going to get bracket -8 and then quantity squared -6. That gives me 64. Negative times a negative is a positive. And when I subtract, I get 58, and that is the answer. All right, let's go on. This one right here, you have a double negative, which becomes a plus. So you're basically adding these two. 7 times 5 is 35. We're going to use that as the least common denominator, and it is. We're going to multiply 7 times 5, and we're going to multiply the top one by the same number. Here, we're going to multiply by 7, and when you do, you get 35. So you're going to have 15, 5 times 3, plus 14 is over 35. So I'm going to get 29 over 35, and that's your answer. It's a fraction. What does it mean? It means if you take anything and you divide it into 35 pieces, however much that is, 35 pieces, you're going to keep 29, which is probably about right there. Okay, so the distance from here to here would be equal to that fraction. All right, let's go on. This one right here is order of operations. Well, division comes first. So -8 divided by 2 is a -4. This cancels. So I get 16. This one right here is variables on both sides. So I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. And when I do, I get this. Now I have a two-step equation. I'm going to add 7 and then divide by 2. When I add 7, I get 1. Divided by 2, I get my answer, and there it is. Today, you are working on a worksheet. And by the way, your bell work is due. You have till Thursday. If you do not upload it by tomorrow night, and you ask if you can send it, it's not going to be graded. And I don't have time for it. Your deadline is Thursday. All right, here's your worksheet. and you're going to work both sides of this worksheet, okay? So if you need to, you can look at the video. The answers are there. Okay, if you get stuck, ask for help. Have a good morning.